Good morning, everyone. This is Commissioner Scar. Today is Tuesday, December 30th, 2025, and we'll call this meeting to order at 8 a.m. As a reminder, our call-in number is 1-971-254-3149, conference ID 866-914-607#. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone to mute their phone. You can do this by pressing star six. Please unmute yourself when called to speak, again pressing star six. It is very important for all others to remain muted. Thank you. Okay, we'll start with our Board of Commissioners roll call. Commissioner Bell.
Good morning.
Good morning, and I will let everyone know that Commissioner Fournier will not be joining us this morning. Okay, we're going to jump into the call as we always do with Adventist Health Tillamook and Eric Swanson. Good morning, Eric.
Hey, good morning, Commissioner. 10 patients in the hospital today, 7 surgery cases yesterday. Ambulance crews did 9 911 transports, 1 transfer, and 1 transport home. 113 patients boarding in emergency departments across Oregon today. That's 25 more than yesterday. 269 discharge delays, 4 more than yesterday. And unless you've got questions, that's all I've got for you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Eric this morning? Okay, not hearing any. Thank you for being with us, and we will continue down our list, and we will move on to the Coastal Caucus. And I know that I have Senator Weber this morning. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning. Isn't it nice not to have rain? I'm sorry. I just, to be able to walk the dog at 5:30 in the morning and not get wet is such a delight. I want to wish everyone a very happy new year. We have a lot of challenges ahead of us, a lot of work ahead of us. We need to look at each new year and each new legislative session as a challenge and begin to work to make sure that we are making the best decisions going forward for our communities. I want to thank ODOT for their aggressive work on the Highway 6 project and getting right on it, making sure that we will maintain our economic viability and not penalize the people who live here or living here because of the highway. So I really want to thank them for that. I want to thank people especially for electing me for the privilege of being able to represent them and serve them and listen to their concerns and take them forward. We go back to Salem on the 13th of January for Ledge Days, and we have a full schedule of meetings, committee meetings, and talking about future legislation. In the meantime, I am meeting with county commissioners, school superintendents, committee members of the committees I'm on to look forward to the next session as to what can be the best representation for everyone's concerns. The challenges we have is during the long session, we had unlimited bill proposals that we could go forward with. But in the short session now, we are constrained to 2 bill concepts going forward. And we have a new form for our capital construction that we will be putting out there. Unfortunately, we are going to only be able to prioritize 2 capital construction projects. And so I'm going to be looking especially at how much work is done, what needs to be done, how much money it's going to require, and then we may not get any capital construction projects in our area, but I want you to know that when I ask for the information, I would appreciate it that if you would submit it to my office in a timely manner so that I can represent you the best way that I can. And so that's what I have to say. And our official start to this session is February 2nd. It will be 35 days long. There are some challenges with weather and other things that we, of course, have to meet during that time of the year. But I'll do my best. I'll be there every day. I'll work for you. And I want to thank you for the privilege of being able to do this. Thank you. And Happy New Year, everyone. Any questions?
Thank you, Senator. Are there any questions for the Senator? Okay, thank you for being with us. So not hearing any questions, we'll continue through our regular agenda. I don't see, but I'm going to give a shout out to the Tillamook County Community Health Center. I don't see Camille, who's normally with us. See if they have someone else. Okay, not hearing anyone. How about the Nehalem Bay Health Center and Pharmacy?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Gail.
A brief update about this week and tomorrow, New Year's Eve, we will be closing at 3 o'clock, and then we will be closed New Year's Day. But we will be open with regular hours on Friday, and that is the clinic is open from 8 to 6, and the pharmacy is open 9 to 5:30, and also open during lunch. And that's it. I'd like to wish everyone a Happy New Year, and I'm here for any questions.
Great, thank you, Gail. Any questions for Gail? I just want to give a quick shout out. I don't think I did this yet. I had the opportunity with the Salmonberry Trail Foundation to use the most amazing meeting room at the new facility in Wheeler. And I wanted to thank you publicly for that, Gail. It was a great space. You just cannot beat the view out the window of that room. And it was also very nicely appointed and worked well. So thank you for the opportunity to use that space.
You're welcome, and you brought a smile to my face. It is definitely a room that is available, and if you're interested in the space, please give me a call or send me an email. So thank you.
Excellent, thank you. No, there are a limited number of spaces for public meetings in Tillamook County, and that was a great addition for North County, and again, a greatly appointed space for what we had a planning retreat. So, all right, thank you. Okay, moving on, Tillamook Family Counseling, Frank Hanna-Williams.
Commissioner and all.
Good morning.
Frank Hanna-Williams, Director, Tillamook Family Counseling Center, Behavioral Health Services for Tillamook County residents. I don't have much of a report for today. I just want to say that we are open tomorrow, and we'll be closed on New Year's and open after that. So if you have questions about appointments, concerns, want to connect with your person you're working with, please feel free to do that at those times. And if you have any questions, I can take them. And other than that, that's my report for today.
Perfect. Thank you, Frank. Any questions for Frank? Okay, not hearing any. We will move. Oh, actually, you know what? I see Camille. Thank you, Frank. I see Camille has joined us. Camille, did you have a report for us from Community Health Center today?
Good morning. I apologize for my late start here. I just wanted to say, as we bid goodbye to 2025 and ring in a new year, we want to encourage everyone to make safe and healthy choices while you're celebrating. Whether that's participating in the polar plunge, lighting off a few fireworks, or clinking champagne glasses at midnight, please stay safe by consulting your ocean and weather conditions before taking the plunge. Use fireworks responsibly and make plans for a sober driver ahead of time if you plan to drink. And I want to take this opportunity to remind everyone that our clinics and offices will be closed on Thursday, New Year's Day, and we want to wish everyone a happy and healthy new year. And that is my report today.
Thank you, Camille. Okay, we will move on to emergency management. Randy Thorpe.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Well, we are going to start the new year off with very boring weather, which is, I think we're all looking forward to. We're not going to have quite those rains and river floodings that we had the first part of December. So the first part of January looks pretty good. We'll be getting a little bit of rain, but those rivers are definitely going to stay way below the flood stages. So I embrace the boringness of our weather. So I'm looking forward to that. And as Camille said, mentioned just a little bit, the king tides are here again. This is our last time to be able to enjoy their power and their beauty, and they'll start basically on New Year's Day. So if you're out there, pretend you're a polar bear and plunging into the ocean, you got to realize there's going to be some king tides coming in. So that could add a little bit more danger to that type of activity. So just be extremely careful, because the tides will peak a little bit over 10 feet. They're normally, from 8 to 9 feet. So we're looking at least, a foot and a half higher waves coming in. And because of that increase in the tidal surge, we'll see some flooding in our low-lying areas near the coast for those few days. And so this, like I say, will be our last of our king tides. And enjoy the beautiful sunshine today. And just remember how miserable it was a few weeks ago, and how great it is has been this last week, last few days. So with that, just Happy New Year. Be careful out there. Enjoy, like I say, the last of the king waves, and definitely enjoy the lack of excessive rain over the next few days. And that's all I have, Commissioner.
Thank you, Randy. Any questions for Randy? Okay, I'll just give a shout out. During these events, I was in very close contact with Randy, as I know Commissioner Bell was as well, and I'm sure Commissioner Fournier also, just to stay abreast of what was happening in our community. And as always, a huge shout out to Randy for his coordination, along with Chris Lady, our Public Works Director, keeping us apprised of road conditions, road closures, etc. And of course, our PUD out there getting the lights back on for everybody, and emergency responders throughout our county. So it was a bit of a rough start to December, and I share Randy's thankfulness and Senator Weber's as well for the sunny day it looks like we will have today. It definitely, weeks like we had in the last couple of weeks, remind us to be thankful for these amazing sunny days. So thank you, Randy, for all of your work during the emergencies. And I know it's not over. We will be considering an emergency declaration on our agenda tomorrow that will extend the emergency that started earlier in December, so that we can go ahead and continue to gather the costs that have racked up for the county and other providers during these events, and hopefully receive reimbursement from FEMA if we reach a high enough level. So while the storm is over, the work continues. So thank you for that, Randy. Okay, we will go ahead and move on to the Board of Commissioners. Commissioner Bell.
Good morning. Well, I am also thankful for this nice weather. It's I know a lot of folks don't know this, but I ended up with a spruce tree on my house in the atmospheric storm, which is it's such a strange experience. You know that these things happen. You see pictures of trees on people's houses, but somehow it just never crossed my mind that it would happen to my house. So it could have certainly been worse. If there's a huge tree on my house, it could have been a lot worse if the tree could have been in my house. It punctured my roof in multiple places and broke the spine of the roof, so it was serious enough, but it wasn't actually in the living room, so that was good. And we weren't hurt, was the most important thing. And a lot of people came to my aid, which I'm deeply grateful for. So now I'm working my way. It's tarped now and no longer leaking in the house. And I'm working my way through the insurance process. So it's, and I'm looking askance at the other trees around my house. The one that fell on my house wasn't even my tree. It was from across the road. So, but now I want to have the trees that are close to my house evaluated. So it was a very impactful storm for a lot of people. I know folks in our employ who were trapped on the other side of the Trask while Public Works moved that massive landslide, and a lot of people were impacted by this storm. So I'm glad we're on the other side of it, and here's hoping for clear weather for a while, that we don't have to have any more major incidents this winter would be really nice. I wanted to share some a health PSA, a public service announcement, personal to me. Yesterday, I got the results of a pathology test for a recent colonoscopy, and I don't have cancer, thank God. But I did have some polyps that were. There are different kinds of polyps. When you get a colonoscopy, they look inside your colon, obviously. And some people have polyps, which are growths inside the colon. They take them out. They do a pathology report. There are different kinds. And the kind I had were the kind that can develop into cancer quickly. So they said, you don't have cancer, but you have to come back in 3 years. So I share this because I'm very grateful for the preventative health care. I'm very grateful for preventative health care. And I'm thinking, here we are at the beginning of the year where we think about things. I think about things that I'm grateful for and things that I want to pursue in the next year. And this last year I had a little melanoma on my toe, which was discovered early, taken care of. They got it all. Now I've had this precancerous polyp in my colon, and they got it all. It's fine. And earlier in my life, I had breast cancer in the early stages. They got it all. And I'm thinking, in past times, I'm the kind of person who would have died from those things if I hadn't known I had them when it was very early. And so I just want to encourage everyone in our community to schedule your appointments in January in 2026. Schedule your appointments for preventative health care because it's the best investment we can possibly make is in our own health and that of our families, and early detection saves lives. So I'm a living example of that. I'm very, very grateful for preventative health care, and I want to encourage everyone I know and love to do the same for themselves. And with that, I will say Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you in 2026. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I saw your about the tree on your house on Facebook, and oh my gosh, that would definitely be terrifying. So I'm glad everyone is all right. Okay, I took some time off last week to be with family and to celebrate the holidays. So I don't have a whole lot to report in terms of what else is happening here in Tillamook County. As I said, I was in contact with emergency management and stayed with you all in the storm, although from afar. So kind of said my piece on that. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and keep us moving, and we'll move on to the cities. And I believe we have Mayor Stock with Manzanita with us today.
You do. Good morning, Commissioner,
Good
and everyone
morning.
else on the call. Hey, I've just got a quick update, and it seems like it happened a long time ago now, but it was actually a couple of weeks, and since we didn't meet, I wanted to just give a quick update on it. So, first of all, my thanks and our city's thanks to everyone in the county and our adjoining communities who did just such a fantastic job of organizing and communicating with each other during the storms that we had. It was well done, and all the work was really appreciated. And this is the first time I've sat in on calls where everyone's calling in to report status, report problems, see how they can help each other. And once again, it's just very impressive to hear everyone working so tightly and so closely together, and particularly because even when there were some difficult things being worked on, the atmosphere on those calls was very calm and purposeful. So that doesn't happen by accident. So I'd like to thank everybody who was a part of that. Our own public works and law enforcement team in Manzanita were out and active, most of it during a time when people couldn't see. So because it was dark and it was the middle of the night. So we did have some trees down and some power outages locally, and our great guys with TPUD were ready to help, and we appreciate that very much. We did have to do something that's kind of unusual, at least it hasn't happened in my memory of being around the city, which was we had a start of some earth movement on some property that the city owns across the street from our public works operations. It's not a very active area, so most people aren't up there unless you live up that way. But we did detect some movement of earth, and that was concerning. And so our public works team immediately called in some expertise and a local contractor and evaluated, did some precautionary measures, stabilized the land, and then started evaluating it very closely to understand if we had something perhaps more serious underway. And the good news is that we did not end up having anything more serious, but in a preemptive move, and just to enable us to be able to move quickly if we needed to, our council met in an emergency session that afternoon and declared a state of emergency, which was primarily and almost entirely to give our city manager the authority to spend what she needed to if there was something major that was going on. So we did that, and we had, as usual, had an interesting time communicating that with folks, and I think we have more work to do to help people understand what happened and why we did that. So I just wanted to mention that. That was a bit unusual for us, but thankfully nothing like the problems and challenges that were going on further south in the county. So that's it for us this morning. Thanks, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. Yeah, emergency declarations, I think, can people can feel uncomfortable. It's like, oh my gosh, it must be really bad. And in fact, I appreciate your explanation. It really is a tool for government that allows us to move more quickly in a response and allows us to access potentially different tools from the state, et cetera, for response. So when you hear that we're filing an emergency declaration, it does mean that there's something going on, but it's also not a panic moment. So thank you for that. Okay, moving on to the city of Rockaway Beach. I believe I have Mayor McNeely this morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good.
Well, let me start by thanking the commissioners for hosting this weekly update call. I do hear from Rockaway Beach residents that they listen to the call and appreciate the information and updates. So I genuinely do appreciate the opportunity for our communities to hear from all of the elected officials and leaders in the community about what's going on, and an opportunity for me to share what's happening in Rockaway Beach. So 2 thumbs up. All right, an update on the Nadana Wave Land Use Board of Appeals case, the never-ending saga. In October, Nadana Wave LLC appealed the City Council's decision remanded by the Land Use Board of Appeals. Oregon Shores filed to intervene in the case. On December 1st, Nadana Wave submitted the petition for review, in which the applicant presents legal arguments for why they believe the local decision should be overturned. Our staff, of course, continues to consult with legal counsel, and we are moving forward with submitting a brief as a response to the applicant's arguments by describing the city's response to the original LUBA remand, particularly the aspects concerning the interpretation of the special area zone as a base zone. I presented at the December's Port of Tillamook Bay board meeting regarding the city's interest in expanding and improving parking in our downtown core. Much of this initiative will necessarily require approval from the Port of Tillamook Bay, so the initial step was to ensure the board is informed of the city's new priority and to seek its support for these efforts. The Port of Tillamook Bay board members appeared to understand the importance of the additional parking in Rockaway Beach, and City Manager Shepherd has a meeting scheduled with the port's general manager, Michelle Radley, in January to discuss this further. So fingers crossed we can move forward and expand and improve parking opportunities for visitors. All of us that live in tourist-driven economies know that it all starts with having a parking space for a visitor to stop and park their car and spend some money in town. And with that, I'll just wish everyone a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2026. And again, thanks for this opportunity. Back to you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, we will move on to the city of Bay City, and I believe that we have Mayor Leanne Welch this morning.
Good morning, Commissioner. Yes, we do. It's
Good
been pretty
morning.
quiet here in Bay City. It's beautiful weather. However, we did travel over the holidays and up and over Highway 6. So I'm really interested in working with ODOT in figuring out what those next steps are for Highway 6 in relation to our community. So hopefully, as part of the Northwest Area Commission on Transportation, that there'll be, some good news coming out and some long-term plan. Otherwise, it's been pretty quiet, and I wish everybody a happy new year. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mayor. I think we are all looking forward to hearing from, working with ODOT, working with our senator and figuring out what that fix will be. I appreciate Commissioner Fournier, while he's not with us this morning, his focus on that area and making sure that our voices are heard. So I think that's fabulous. Okay, we do not have the city of Tillamook with us today. So I'm going to wrap us up by just thanking everyone for participating this year. We do hear often that this call is really helpful to the community. It is chaired by the chair of the Board of Commissioners here, and I am wrapping up my year as chair. So starting next week, you will have Commissioner Fournier leading these calls as well as all BOC meetings. So thank you all for being with us this year, and thank you for your participation. Happy New Year to everyone out there, and we look forward to seeing you all in the coming year. And with that, I will adjourn this meeting at 8:26 a.m.